In this lesson, I will talk about the parts of the sewing machine and the general workings of the sewing machine. So to get started, the first part of the sewing machine is the spool pin. The spool pin is to hold your spool of thread, and you just open it up as I just did, put your spool of thread on, close it up. The next part of the machine that I want to mention is the feed dogs. The feed dogs are two sets of jagged teeth that are on the flat part of your machine, and the feed dogs help to feed the fabric through the machine. The next part that I want to mention is the hand wheel. The hand wheel is used to operate the machine manually or by hand. To operate the machine manually, you always want to be turning the hand wheel towards you, counterclockwise to the left. If you do turn it backwards, it will eventually break the gears on the machine. The next part I want to mention is the presser foot. The presser foot is what holds the fabric down against the feed dogs in order to sew. You always want to have the presser foot down when you are sewing. To put the presser foot down, there's the presser foot lever. It is a black lever. You hold it with your pointer finger and thumb. Hold it the whole way down that you put it down so that we do not hear it. To just slam it down is not correct. Now, the next part of the machine is the slide plate. This little clear plastic door is the slide plate, and you just open it up. That is where your bobbin will go when you thread your sewing machine. The metal plate with the red guides and the fractions is called the throat plate. Those lines with the fractions are indications of your seam allowances and to be able to sew a straight line. The normal seam allowance is a 5/8 inch seam allowance. The reverse button. The reverse button, of course, allows you to sew in reverse. So when you sew in reverse, you want to hold the reverse button down. You still want to turn the hand wheel towards you, and the machine will sew in reverse. Next part of the machine is a little knob inside the hand wheel. The little knob inside the hand wheel is called the clutch. To put the machine in neutral, all you do is pull out the clutch, pop it out. Now when you turn your hand wheel, the machine does not move the needle or any other part of the machine except for the power. The clutch, you only use that when you want to wind thread on your bobbin. To disengage it, just pop it back in. This dial right here is the stitch length control. The stitch length control is how many stitches per inch you will have when you are sewing. To do average, which is 10 to 12 inches per stitch, you should have it on 2 to 2.5. The pattern selector gives you either a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch. And what it is on right now is for a straight stitch, and that's what we always keep it on. The next thing I want to mention is the take-up lever. The take-up lever is very important because your take-up lever always has to be up at the top when you start or stop sewing. If your take-up lever is up, that means your needle is up. You will see when I turn the hand wheel that when the take-up lever is down, the needle is down, and then you would not be able to get your fabric into the machine. There are a few thread guides. This is a thread guide. This is a thread guide. This is a thread guide. They do exactly what they are called. They guide the thread through the machine. Now, to operate the machine, there is a power switch over here on the right-hand side. All you have to do is turn it on. Now, it's very important when you do turn it on, your foot is not on the foot pedal on the floor. So make sure your foot is removed from the foot pedal when you do turn it on. The foot pedal on the floor is how you operate the machine, generally, other than the hand wheel, and that is operated with your right foot and you don't want to put too much pressure on the foot pedal so that you go slowly.